Anyway, all right. I've talked about my merchandise schedule and cameo schedule and the website schedule and my vaccination schedule. Let's talk about our programs. This coming week, apparently, you are going to insist on behalf of the Cult of Cornette that I watch and review, if possible, the offering from the WWE on what we now laughingly still refer to as pay-per-view, even though nobody pays to view it because it's all on the cock and everything else. What is it? Backlash? It's Wrestlemania Backlash?
WrestleMania Backlash. Although looking at the card, you may want to call it WrestleMania Backwash.
Very good. I see what you did there. I thought the backlash to WrestleMania came the day or two afterwards when everybody got a chance to talk about it. Well, never mind. So what is on this pay-per-view that our drive-thru is? Because the drive-thru is going to be a big program this coming Tuesday. That'll be what? Tuesday the
25th.
25th of what? Already? Wait a minute. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
God damn you. You just told me Saturday was the 15th.
Oh, excuse me. 18th.
Well, God damn you. Fuck my mind all up.
I'm sorry.
You've just blown my mind. I thought I was way farther behind than I am now. Anyway, so whatever date you just said it really is, the 18th. That it may be out a little bit later on Tuesday because we've not only got to talk about the Shawn Michaels biography on A&E. He's still alive, so I bet this one won't be a negative. Seems that they're only speaking ill of the dead so far. But also we're going to talk about Backlash and what are they foisting off on us in the name of professional wrestling on Sunday.
Here are the matches that are currently listed. In a Lumberjack match, Damian Priest versus The Miz.
I liked it on the first half. Well, I mean, Miz is, and I've been watching a lot of all petite wrestling these days, so Miz will probably look better by comparison. And we like Damian Priest. Why is a Lumberjack match from whatever they did before?
It's from the Great North Woods.
Wait a minute. It was Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, right?
They were friends. They teamed up at WrestleMania against Miz and Morrison.
And won.
Yes.
So why we got a Lumberjack match now? Did they do something on television?
It's a good question that one should probably watch the television to find out the answer to, because I don't. We could.
They'll do a package.
They better.
Fuck it, we'll watch the package.
Well, also on the card, Jim, for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns, the champion, with Paul Heyman versus Cesaro.
Okay. Boom. Write this down in your little black book wherever you keep it, Brian Last. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Anything that gives Claudio Castagnoli a main event, and also I get to Roman Reigns. I've mentioned I'm a fan of most everything. Some of the more odd things they've had him do, like when Paulie couldn't pick the lock, but mostly Reigns has been great. And of course, then we get to see Paul go through a variety of Alfred Hitchcock's facial expressions at ringside. So that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that. I wish it was for the actual world title rather than one of the, well, I get the universe is bigger than the world. So why does the world title's now become the United States title?
Well, actually, I think in the WWE way of looking at it, which defies science, the world and the universe are an equal.
Oh, we'll say that. See, no, now hey.
And as I say that, I realize how ridiculous it is.
I've watched Bill Nye a bunch of times, not to mention Dr. Carl Sagan. I watched him billions and billions of times, and I always heard the universe was bigger than the world.
Well, you also watch Dr. Bombay a lot of times, but let me ask you this, Jim. Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. How do you think Roman Reigns is going to win? Who's going to interfere? Will it be Jey Uso super kicking Cesaro? I feel like it's the same finish.
Well, that that is one thing about the match in all seriousness, is that everybody knows that Claudio, I can't call him Cesaro, Claudio's not going to win it. And unfortunately, that's a byproduct of how they've booked both guys. Reigns to be so strong, and Cesaro is like now Cinderella story out of nowhere after they've buried him for years. And he's so good, and he's such a good guy. And everybody that's ever been in the ring with him recognizes how good he is. And I think it's one of those things that Bruce would explain is, well, we just needed to make him a fucking septic tank repairman to give him some personality. Because he's one of those guys that Bruce will give you the, well, you just need more personality line. Instead of, no, what we need is somebody that doesn't have a stupid, hokey fucking gimmick that we actually push as a main event guy. It's what we need. So now they're doing it simply because talent is short and somebody has browbeat him to, here's this fucking guy's great. He's never a problem. He does everything he's asked. He's a fucking exemplary human being, and he's more talented than all the numbnuts that we've been pushing. So why don't we do something with him? Like, okay. But it's too quick. Nobody thinks he's going to beat Roman Reigns because what has it been, suddenly 4 to 6 weeks ago, everybody, oh, Cesaro. I'm not saying they shouldn't push him and elevate him. I'm saying it takes longer than that. What if they just did it slow and just let him start winning and having standout matches on every program that they had time for that to happen for the next 6 or 8 months, and then getting a personal issue with somebody maybe right under a Roman Reigns and fucking win in the end convincingly and cleanly. And then, hey, you motherfucker, I've always wanted to be the Universal Champion. But 6 weeks after they've just discovered that he shouldn't be fucking hanging out in the second match, doing bullshit, he's in the main event going for the Universal title. Little quick.
Well, Jim, on a show like this, every match is the main event. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the champions, the Dirty Dogs, versus Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio.
Oh, boy.
The Mysterio family affair.
What? Who are the Dirty Dogs?
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Okay. So this is their new tag team name. I tell you, this hadn't, because I haven't seen this in print or anything.
And for the record, it's DAWGS.
Well, of course it is. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode are probably two of the not only premier in-ring performers in that company, but anywhere in the business these days. I've always said, Bobby Roode 15 years ago in TNA, I'm like, this is a young Arn Anderson. He was better probably at the same age than Arn was. I saw them both around the same time. And, he's a classic worker, no wasted motion. He's smart. Everything's always in the right place. Doesn't hurt anybody. Shit looks good. Good looking athlete. Dolph, as I've mentioned many times, channels Kurt Hennig and probably overdoes it a bit, but he's having fun. It's kind of like the story Bockwinkel used to tell about Ray Stevens. Stevens was so much better than everybody else, he could go in and jack off and still outperform everybody, and Bockwinkel would tag in and try his hardest and still wouldn't be as good. That's what Nick would say. It was over Dolph likes, bumping around, but it's only because they've just used them once again in a middle position for so long that we'll see what happens. I love them as workers. We'll see what happens as one of the three sets of tag team champions in the company.
How do you think they'll do against Tojo and George here?
No, at least make them the Jet Set. I am all for a young man following in his father's footsteps, right? But what the interview that I saw on, I believe it was WrestleMania when they spoke together on a backstage interview, whatever. The point is, Dominik is overly tall, apparently, for his age, and Ray, as we know, is not the tallest person, and it looks preposterous. But more importantly than that, Dominik gave this interview that he was trying as hard as he could. He memorized it, and it was one of those fake, cheerful, the idea of being a father and son team. He was so scared speaking. It was just fake cheerfulness with memorized verbiage. And honestly, nobody ever said that Rey Mysterio's strong suit was promos, and he kind of did the same thing, fake cheerfulness and scripted verbiage. And from what I've seen, I know that obviously that Dominik has been training. We haven't seen everything that he's done on television, but the problem is we've seen everything he's done in front of people on television, because he didn't even get in the ring till after the pandemic started, right? If not, it was damn close. He's never done any independent shows. And if he's been training at the Performance Center, has anybody ever mentioned that, by the way? Boy, this Dominik Mysterio is a real standout. Or even here at the Performance Center? So where has he been training? And is it fair to put, and from what we saw with what he's done before, he's not a natural. I think that would be fair to say. So all of a sudden and what is he, 19 years old at this point? You got an age on him over there?
In that range. I can find an age. I don't have it on top of.
Well, find his age, because I want to know how old this fucking guy is. Point is, they're putting him in the biggest promotion in the world, on global streaming television of whatever description it is these days.
24 years old.
Is he 24?
6'1".
Okay, and Ray's like 5'3", so that's 10 inches. But the point is, if he's 24, where's he been?
He had a lot of things going on in his life.
No, seriously, now
I have no idea.
I'm blown away. I thought he was like 18 or 19, and I'm like, they're rushing him after he's just started training. But if he's 24 and he hasn't been training, he's Rey Mysterio's son. He's 24. He's going to be a wrestler. But he hadn't been training at least part-time for the last few years. Or if he has, then that's even worse. Because now we're not seeing a guy that's just green as grass talking and working. We're seeing a guy who's trained somewhere, hopefully, apparently in secret for the past few years, but still has never wrestled in front of people because we've never heard about it, right? So then that shoots that theory. He can't have been training for several years because he would have wrestled in front of people. Has it happened in Mexico? Was he under a mask?
If so, I don't know about it.
And nobody's reported it. And it's not been so.
But we don't know. To be fair, we weren't paying attention a couple of years ago. Someone may have said, Dominik Mysterio is taking bumps in a school. We don't know.
No, I just because I don't watch the shows doesn't mean I don't read the internet. And that would have been a topic of conversation. I don't know about this whole thing. Maybe somebody's just had an idea. Hey, Ray, your son, does he want to make a bunch of money? Sure.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll win you over with this match at WWE Wrestlemania Backlash. But Jim,
I don't have anything against him, but I'm just now if he's 24 years old and he's starting and he's the son of Rey Mysterio, so he could have started training anytime, anywhere he wanted. But he's just starting now.
But you don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know if he's been in Mexico training with a friend of Rey Mysterio or
but okay, then
Rey Mysterio's uncle.
I challenge any Mexican wrestling experts or worldwide wrestling experts. Has Dominik Mysterio had a match in front of people or matches in front of people? How long and where has he been training? And does that resume put him on in the tag team title match for the biggest company in the world at this stage?
Well, Jim, also on this show, a triple threat match.
Oh, God.
For the Raw Women's Championship. The champion, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Or wait a minute. Actually, it might be. No, that's the wrong one. Son of a bitch. I thought I had a wolf whistle on here. There we go. Hit the wrong button. Rhea Ripley.
As I said, a triple threat match. Rhea Ripley against Asuka against Charlotte Flair.
Ooh. So, okay, I can buy this now. They're teasing us. They do not give us Rhea and Charlotte in a one-on-one confrontation. Asuka's there, hopefully, to drop the fall and or do any other type of flunky work. I'm looking forward to that.
Now, this card is several days away as we are recording. It's this weekend. Actually, it's 2 days away.
2 days.
Do you think between now and when the card happens, any of these women will be told by WWE doctors that they are pregnant?
Oh, for God's sake, hopefully not. Well, and actually, maybe if selfishly, they might could question Asuka, and that way we just get Charlotte and Rhea.
Stop. Asuka's good. What do you have against her in the ring?
Hey, she's in between Rhea and Charlotte.
Oh, she's good. Stop it. You're going to like this. No, you're not. You're going to prejudge this match, and you're going to go in and you're going to hate this match. But also...
Well, it's a three-way. I'll tell you this, in all honesty, it's a three-way match. So that generally sucks, no matter who's involved, male, female, animal, vegetable, or mineral. So it'll be a challenge. Let's see if they can make this more palatable than most of them are. So I will not be grading horribly critically because it's almost impossible to have a good three-way anyway, at least in wrestling.
Also, for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair, your champion, versus Bayley.
Well, wait a minute. Now now they're just bumping boobs there. They're putting one women's match up against another women's match. Taking highlight away from both women's matches.
Well, I don't know if this is the order they will be in on the show. This is the order I'm reading them.
Well, but they're on the same show. There's 2 women's title matches on the same show. So that just, yeah.
And finally,
if there's 2 men's title matches on the show, then that's just bleh.
And finally, for the WWE Championship.
That's what I'm talking about.
In a triple threat match.
Oh, God damn it.
The champion Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, Christ. That thing will be fucked up beyond all recognition. Because Strowman's almost immobile and his shit looks rotten, so they're going to have to give him a bunch of big things to do to cover that up. And again, 2 champions. So why is either prestigious on the same show and in another 3-way? So, all right, there's a few potential high spots in that lineup, but otherwise it's probably going to be what it's going to be.
And that's the card for WrestleMania Backlash.
It should be WrestleMania Refund. Call up, get our money back. Oh, God almighty. You know, Brian, if you keep insisting that I put myself through the mental torture of having to watch these people twist a wrestling business into illogical knots, I'm going to need somebody to talk to. Do you think BetterHelp has a counselor for people who are put upon by their co-host of their podcast to damage their own psyche?
I understand it's a growing area in the field.
It may be in the area of your groin. I don't know how growing it is, but nevertheless, if you've got just a prickish co-host of your podcast or anything else that's causing you stress, distress, or heartache, the folks at BetterHelp can help. BetterHelp, as we've mentioned so many times, is professional counseling done securely online. It's not self-help or a crisis line. It's counseling online with a wide variety of counselors with expertise in different areas that may not be locally available, or you may not want to go out in public anyway. You can schedule weekly video or phone sessions with your counselor so you don't have to sit in a waiting room. You've got an account that you can log into at any time and do the messages, etc. They want you to start living a happier life today by giving you someone to talk to and sort things out. If you go to their website and read the testimonials, they post them every day. You can go to BetterHelp, that's H-E-L-P, betterhelp.com/JCE, and get 10% off your first month's services. It's a special offer for our listeners because they like us and they know that we're important. 10% off your first month's services at betterhelp.com/JCE. You can join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. As a matter of fact, I could take charge of my mental health, possibly by just exercising my mute button on you at some points. Brian, you're starting to lead me astray. You're starting to go rogue.
Well, we don't have to worry about you doing that. Everyone knows you stay away from exercise.
Hey, see, that's what I mean. You're starting to zing me. I got my guard down. I'm looking at all these motherfuckers over here in front of me, and here you are from the back giving me the flipper in the ribs.